Hi there, my name is Elliot Rule, and I'm here today to inform you of the socioeconomic divide that exists in Cuba. Cuba is a country that is often romanticized as being stuck in the 50s. This is because of a long-standing U.S. embargo that prevents trade to Cuba. This makes access to modern cars and appliances and such very difficult for locals that live there. Despite this, Cuba makes up for 23% of tourism to the Caribbean. It has a rich history of revolutions, infamous dictators, and communism that draws people into the area. Quality of life in Cuba is relatively good, but for the lower to middle class, it's never easy. The average income for a Cuban is 20 to 30 US per month. This means things like eggs, milk, cheese, and meat are very hard to come by. Despite this, the education system is very solid, boasting a 99.8% literacy rate. Jobs are scarce and hard to come by. Most of the jobs are in the tourism industry because it gives you access to American money, which is worth more than the local currency. Most of the lower to middle class does not have access to cars, internet, or property. Public transportation does exist, but it's crowded and unreliable. The divide in Cuban lifestyle comes from lack of opportunity rather than lack of resources. There are Cubans that are rich by American standards. Often, these families have ties to government. Having ties to government allows you access to property and internet that most people would not have access to. People that have ties to the government also receive money, even if it's just their family that is employed there. Along with this, people that have a hand in the tourism industry are also a part of the upper class. House renting services like Airbnb and Vrbo have allowed even lower class individuals to start renting out their homes to tourists, bringing in extra income. This is helping to close the divide, the income divide, between the upper and lower class. While the lower class is scraping by, the upper class is finding new ways to gain wealth. Most of Cuba's wealth comes from tourism, and American money is worth up to 25 times as much as the local currency. Locals operate on the peso. Because of this divide in the worth of the currencies, it makes it much more difficult for the lower class to advance to the upper class. Property ownership is the big thing here. Most wealthy Cubans own property, and under Cuban Decree 217, if you do not have an address or a job, you can actually not move into the cities where most jobs are. This makes it very hard for people that are in the lower class to advance into the upper class. Cities like Havana, that are very popular tourist destination, offer much more jobs than cities outside of it. The Cuban lower and middle class are scraping by, while the small upper class is getting richer. Leaving with this information, do not forget to be thankful for what you have here in America and the opportunities that we're given just by being an American citizen. Thank you for your time, and I hope I was able to educate you more on the socioeconomic divide in Cuba. Have a good day. I'm Elliot Rule.